Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Reactor, and this is Quinn. Today's article comes from thinkprogress.org, and it says, by 2035, the great fuel switch will mark the end of the age of oil and gas, analysts expect. Yeah, I guess they'll stop making cars. Solar and wind energy will meet 20% of global power needs sooner than previously forecast. Okay. There's a picture of a wind farm. You know what a wind farm is, right?
Yeah.
These are giant fans, and they create wind by spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where wind comes from.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty sure those are going to be everywhere in a few.
Do we even need more wind?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that we could always use more of that.
Close to 20% of global power needs will be met by solar or wind energy by 2035, making a shift from the age of oil and gas to the age of renewables, according to a new report from researchers at the consultancy Wood Mackenzie. Cool. Wow. The growing focus on sustainability in many parts of the world, the report says, is almost akin to a gravitational force, pulling things in one direction and driving the great fuel switch, leaving little possibility for a reversal. Isn't that kind of obvious? Like, oh, new report shows technology will advance. Like,
right.
Oh, thanks for writing a whole journal about it, guys. Energy transitions, similar to the ongoing shift to renewables, are nothing new. Wood Mackenzie researchers write in the report released Wednesday entitled Thinking Global Energy Transitions, the What, If, How, and When. The current hydrocarbon-based economy has itself evolved out of many previous energy transitions, from the age of biomass to the age of coal, and ultimately to that of oil and gas. Each of these was different, but all took at least 30 to 50 years to unfold, the report says. Ugh. So many people think they're so smart for figuring out the obvious. Like, I think, therefore I am. Like, oh, really? You just realized you exist? And only you exist? I don't know, it's stupid. It's all stupid. I hate it. Technological advancements in the renewable energy industry, coupled with the growth of energy storage and the growth of electric vehicles and driving the large-scale commodity switch away from fossil fuels, Project Ghosh, Wood Mackenzie's head of global strategy, power and renewables, said Wednesday in a statement. The result is that the energy transition seems less the plot of a sci-fi movie and more of a feasible, albeit ambitious, plan, Ghosh said. The transition to solar and wind energy will replace the equivalent of about 100 billion cubic feet per day of natural gas demand in the global power sector, the report says. For comparison, demand for natural gas in the United States, the world's largest consumer of natural gas, averaged about 74 billion cubic per day for all purposes, or about 20% of global natural gas consumption in 2017. Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more solar panels around the place, you know? More.
Yeah, I see a lot of wind and solar everywhere.
A lot of people have it on on top of their houses.
Really, if you can
Street
afford
lights.
it saves a lot of money over the long term.
Yeah, if you don't have trees on your property that block all the sunlight from you.
Mm-hmm.
In the transportation sector, as much as 20% of all miles traveled globally by cars, trucks, and buses will use electric motors rather than gasoline or diesel. By 2040, oil demand displaced by a switch to electric vehicles will double to almost 6 million barrels per day. For comparison, total global oil consumption in 2017, for all purposes, averaged about 98 million barrels per day. Wow. Yeah, and I just also want to put it out there that cars aren't the cause of CO2 gases. I mean, yeah, they make them. But cutting down trees is the leading cause, in my opinion. Destroying trees, like trees, the filters, the things that take the CO2 out of the air, yeah, you cut them down, there's going to be an imbalance.
And I would like to point out that the dependence of gasoline for vehicles is only there because the majority of people haven't switched. Once they do, those things will pretty much be a thing of the past, and a lot of people will be upset that their super hot rod trucks and cars don't work.
No, they will. You'd still be able to get gasoline.
It'll probably be really expensive.
It'll always exist. Gasoline's going to exist.
Right. But also, with natural gas, the dependence of that should definitely decrease, because when companies go out and do what's called fracking, where they drill into the earth to find natural gas, it causes earthquakes, which disrupt all sorts of different things for the local people, and it causes all sorts of problems. And to get away from that would be a really good thing. To get away from both, because also the oil, gas, the wars that are fought over it. 98 million barrels a day is a little excessive.
Not to mention, the Middle East has control of all that money. They have ridiculous amounts of money from it.
It's really time to switch it all over.
Improving battery storage technology is helping make electric vehicles a viable solution for local air pollution concerns as well. Decarbonization efforts by governments could require 40 to 60% of new car sales to be electric by 2035, according to the report. If autonomous electric vehicles and ride-sharing really take off, achieving these higher levels becomes possible in a relatively short time, the report says. Wood Mackenzie. When do you think we'll reach the global sustainability tipping point when 20% of global power needs will be met by wind or solar? 2020. Get our prediction here. Earlier this year, Bloomberg New Energy Finance reported that prices for solar, wind, and battery storage are dropping so rapidly that renewables are increasingly squeezing out all forms of fossil fuel power, including natural gas. The sluggishness of countries to craft legislation or regulations, however, could slow the arrival of the transition. President Donald Trump's plan to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement, the Trump administration's rollback of vehicle emission standards, and resistance in Canada to carbon pricing schemes, for example, could all stand in the way of the transition to renewables. No, I don't think you can stand in the way of the transition. Like his plan to withdraw from Paris Climate Agreement, what does it have to do with people buying electric cars? Nobody gives a shit about him withdrawing. It's not going to stop humans from moving forward.
Right, especially when people can save money. People are going to do whatever they can to save money. You
can put all kinds of rollbacks on vehicle emission standards, but people are still going to slowly gravitate towards electric vehicles.
Right, but there's always going to be there's always going to be some person that has
a hot rod,
some super truck, that goes through like a gallon of gas.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal though.
Yeah,
people. I'm sure racetracks are still going to have gas-powered cars.
Right.
Well, no, not really, because Teslas are a lot faster than regular cars, aren't they?
So do you think that Tesla cars on a racetrack would beat NASCARs?
I think they could.
You know why I think they would? It's not just because they're faster, but it's because they don't have to do as many pit stops.
Is that what they're stopping for? Gas?
I think, and tires.
Oh yeah, because they're holding electricity instead of fuel.
Tesla would only have to stop for tires. If Tesla entered NASCAR, and they allowed it, they'd win every time. I think it would just be
maybe the rules say it has to have a combustion engine.
What if Tesla could do an unmanned NASCAR car that competed? That would really make NASCAR people angry.
Yeah, it would.
What? He's not even in there.
Great, the Tesla car crashed, but no one got hurt. What am I watching this crap for? Like, no, I don't know. Many of these potential constraints, though, are likely to be resolved, especially by public-private partnerships that lead to even greater advances in clean energy technologies, Wood Mackenzie predicts. Oh, and then Think Progress has a problem and they need our help, but yeah, anyway. So
what I get from all this is it's like a positive article, like, hey, people are going in the right direction to switch over to save money and not use fossil fuel.
What I'm getting from this is that I should write an article explaining that computer science is going to be advanced by 2035, like just article stating the obvious.
Right.
Call it news.
Millions of people will lose their jobs and technology will reign.
Yeah, what about all the people who work in combustion engine factories?
Lost their job.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Work in an electric engine factory? That's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're not. They won't have jobs.
The great fuel switch. I don't know. Yeah, this is... I feel like this is just an article that points out what I already know. Like, you know, it's like...
Right.
By 2035, smartphones will be even more used by everyone. You know, like, will be more popular. Like,
yeah, it's just that kind of stupid title.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knew the future was going to advance in the same direction it's going right now?
I think movies, you know, the brilliance of some fictional movies sort of foretell the future in a lot of ways because people start imagining it that way, so it becomes that way.
I think what everyone should do is think about a futuristic product that's going to be awesome, like hoverboards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So invent a hoverboard, or the precursor to a hoverboard. What's the, you know, and then evolve your product over time. You know,
Like, yeah, I think it's really easy. Just kind of think of an awesome product and don't think it's impossible to make it, because everything is possible to make. Every single thing you can imagine is possible. It is possible to create a device that makes you look like someone else. You know, I don't know how it would work. I don't know exactly how, but I know it's possible. You know, so like, I don't know. Yeah, I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, this article was kind of obvious. Whatever. If you enjoyed it, let us know by leaving a comment saying so, or say that you hate it. I don't care. Just leave a comment saying something, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and check our Patreon link in the description. We love people who help us. I don't know why. It's just like, it's a part of me. Yeah, but we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.